know what? This is a statistic, actually, I have to tell you before I get started here, that I was actually very surprised about. Fewer than half of all American households consist of married couples. And Americans now spend half of their adult lives outside of marriage. Despite these trends, people still think of aloneness as a condition of pity or feeling ashamed of it. Our next guest offers a different perspective. Renowned coach and leading authority in the area of personal transformation, Lauren Mackler is the author of the book Solemate, Master the Art of Aloneness and Transform Your Life. It's good to see you. Can you tell it's a Friday morning for me? I'm starting to get a little
excited. That's great.
Yeah,
excitement is good.
You're excited because this book is doing so well.
It is. It's really
Don't be humble.
It's thrilling. It's thrilling.
It's a bestseller as of yesterday.
As of yesterday, yeah.
It's really spectacular.
Thank you. Thank you. It's exciting.
What I love about the book is that it's not just for, as you were saying, it's not just for singles.
Right.
It's for everybody, because it's important that if you're looking for your soulmate, you first have to look in the mirror.
Right. So one of the basic premises is becoming the partner you seek. And so many of us are looking outside of ourselves. We're expecting, if we are in a relationship, we expect our partner to make us feel happy, valued, secure, all those things from the outside in, versus developing those qualities inside and bringing that into the relationship. And then for people that are not in a relationship, they're on the websites, they're spending a lot of energy out there trying to find the ideal person to fill the voids that are in themselves or in their lives. So my premise is really start with yourself and take responsibility for what I call reclaiming our innate wholeness. Because when we're born, we are very whole, integrated people, and we feel good about ourselves.
Sure.
You know, there's an erosion of our innate wholeness that happens through the life conditioning process, through family, environment, life experiences. And if you look at a child feels very good about itself. It learns not to feel good about itself. Its innate self-esteem becomes eroded. So
and that's a society issue, isn't it? Because society judges us constantly.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, as we said at the top of this, you know, a lot of adults are spending their life alone, and yet it's still looked at as being, oh, that's unfortunate.
Exactly.
You know,
but the reality
says, oh, that's too bad.
Yes, or haven't you met anybody yet?
Right.
There's a lot of societal messages around you've got to have somebody to love. All you need is love. You're nobody till somebody loves you. All these kinds of messages all the time. Mm-hmm. And so the reality, however, is that all these people are choosing either marrying later or choosing to live life outside of marriage. Mm-hmm. At some point, even if you are married, there's a good chance you will be alone, the divorce rate, or you lose your spouse. And yet we have this idea of aloneness as something to fear or pity or feel ashamed of. And I think that what's happened is the mindset has not caught up with the reality of life.
Right. You know, one of the things that you talk about is the fact that the image, the way you feel about you is the image that you project. So you end up attracting someone similar to the image you're projecting.
Exactly.
So if you're projecting an image of weakness, or if you're projecting the image that you don't like you, then you're going to project someone who's going to treat you the exact same way.
Exactly. You know, the adage opposites attract, I think we talked about this a couple years ago when I was with you. And the reason that opposites attract is because unconsciously we're always trying to seek that wholeness again. Mm-hmm. So we try to seek it through somebody else instead of saying, okay, what parts of me have been lost through my life conditioning process, and how do I bring them back into the fold? And then you come into a relationship from a completely different motivation. It's like icing on the cake, and you're coming into it from a place of wholeness, choice versus desperation, right. Versus out of a fear of being alone. Mm-hmm. And so you are going to attract a different kind of person, because that person is not going to be, that's also whole, is not going to be attracted to somebody that's needy and clingy and scared.
Okay,
you know?
Now let me ask you this. In this world where everyone is judging us, and it can be very difficult, and we have been knocked down a peg or two, how do you get that wholeness back? What do you do?
Well, when I say reclaim our innate wholeness, so for example, in the life conditioning process, let's say we grew up in a family where anger was not okay to express. So when the first time we had a temper tantrum, we expressed anger, we were either shamed or humiliated or slapped or something like that, so that we learn through that conditioned response, anger's not okay. And when I express anger, bad things happen.
Right.
So we learn to submerge that part, which is a part of our innate wholeness, and maybe we become a people pleaser, because we learn when we make people happy and we do what mommy and daddy says, we get love, we get nurturance. Mm-hmm. So then we grow up, and now we take that pattern from childhood into adulthood, and now we're trying trying to do a relationship with somebody.
Right.
But we're terrified to express our needs because we're afraid something bad's going to happen. And so when we don't express our needs and we don't bring ourselves fully into relationship and we're making other people's needs constantly more important, it's a setup for resentment. You know, we start to feel depressed sometimes, or even start to feel sick. So this is an example of what I mean by the innate wholeness.
Of the wholeness. Yeah. Well, the way you can really find out more information is you need to read the book, and the book is terrific, and congratulations on it being so successful.
Thank you.
You can also get more information from Lauren's website. It's laurenmackler.com. It's great to see you.
It's wonderful to see you again.
Continued success.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.